Hello, Shindo here. I thought this was important enough for me to do a video late at night. It's almost midnight here. It appears that Iran is sending ships into this strait over in Yemen. If you remember, a few days ago, these Yemen Houthi rebels, which are backed by Iran, fired on U.S. ships. Then President Obama knocked out some of their satellite dishes, some sort of military attack a couple of days ago. Now, in response to that, Iran has sent ships to this area in Yemen. The title of this from The Observer is Boatload of Trouble. The U.S. and Iran set course for a battle at sea. Folks, you're going to hear about this very soon. You're going to hear something's going to happen. No doubt. There's going to be some more military action going on there near Yemen. Iran and the United States are trading missile jabs, off the coast of Yemen in the Sea of Aden. It is a dangerous game that could escalate. At stake is the main waterway that flows from Asia and Africa all the way to Europe. Here's the order of events and a little background. Yemen is in crisis, torn apart by civil war between Saudi-supported, established traditional Sunni leadership and Shiite Houthi backed by Iran. A change in the intensity of the conflict came 2 weeks ago when the Houthi attacked an auxiliary naval ship sailing under a United Emirates flag. The attack took place off the coast of Yemen in the Gulf of Aden, off the coast of East Africa. This is in the area of the enormously strategic Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. Bab el-Mandeb links the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea. The Red Sea connects the Suez Canal to the Mediterranean Sea. Whoever controls that strait controls all shipping to Europe. All shipping to Europe, folks. Yemen sits at the mouth of that strategic strait. Iran, which already controls many of these areas along the coast Gulf of Aden, is sponsoring the challenge to take over Yemen to take total control of the shipping lane. Get the picture? Iran is not a neighbor of Yemen or the Gulf or the Strait of the Bab al-Mandeb. Iran is situated on the parallel Gulf to the west, the Persian Gulf. But Iran wants more control in that region, and they especially want control of the Strait of Bab al-Mandeb. The United States and the Sunnis, each for their own reasons, cannot permit Bab al-Mandeb to fall into Iranian hands, which would exponentially increase Tehran's power. And so, in response to Iran's move in the area, the United States moved several naval vessels to the area. A U.S. naval destroyer, the USS Mason, was patrolling in the areas of the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb when it was attacked by 2 Houthi missiles. According to the Pentagon briefing, this was not merely a test or a simple misfire. It was an outright attack against a U.S. ship that fortunately missed. In response, now I've already done videos about this just a few days ago. In response, the U.S. struck 3 Iranian-operated radar stations in Yemen that were aiding the Houthi. Pentagon spokesman Peter Cook made it very clear that the U.S. strikes against the Houthi were defensive and in response to the near miss on the USS Mason. Cook said, quote, "These limited self-defense strikes were conducted to protect our personnel, our ship, and our freedom of navigation," unquote. He continued, quote, "The United States will respond to any further threats to our ships and commercial traffic as appropriate," unquote. Now, Iran has dispatched not one, but two warships, the Alvand and the Bushar, to the region. Tasnim, the semi-official Iranian news agency, reported on October 13th that the Iranian naval ships were sent as a check against rising pirate activity in the area. Really? The report read, quote, "Iran's Alvand and Bashar warships have been dispatched to the Gulf of Aden to protect trade vessels from piracy," unquote. There was, of course, no mention in the semi-official announcement that the Iranian warships were dispatched a mere 2 hours after the radar stations were struck by the U.S. cruise missiles. This battle for control of one of the most significant waterways in the world, for the most part being waged through proxies. The Houthi Shiite against the Sunni of Yemen are mere puppets. Their strings are being pulled, respectively, by Iran and Saudi Arabia. But when the Houthi Iranians choose to attack the United States directly, the United States hit back, which will likely surprise Tehran. Now you have both U.S. and Iranian navies in the same zone. Rough seas may be ahead. Rough seas indeed. Folks, this is serious business. We are on the verge of war, and the reason that we are on the verge of war with all these countries who are aligning themselves against us is for one reason and one reason only. They know, the powers that be know that our economy, the world economy, folks, we are all interconnected. Whether you like it or not, you don't have to wait for the New World Order. It's already here. Our economy is linked with the rest of the world. These people who are in positions of authority know that this financial crisis is about to happen. And it's going to be colossal. And the only thing that they can do to somehow manage to pull themselves out of it is war. You just forget about all this nonsense about world peace and how the people who are in power want to hold hands and have a one world government. They don't. They don't. That is all an excuse for when it happens. It will be, oh, the Russians don't want it, though. We wanted it. We were trying to be noble, but the Russians, they're responsible. And folks, if you're going to play this game and go out and vote for one of these candidates, folks, you're just playing along in their game, and all you are to them is a pawn. This is Shindo.